Welcome to RomWills Money Matters. Get started now in business. Hey, look, this is very important. I mean, these few years I've had this channel, I've talked about different businesses. I've also talked about managing your money. But I'm going to tell you what, and this is something very important. Even if you have a job now, get started now. Any business idea you have now, start doing the research, get started. If you've been waiting for a while for a right time, get started. Get started now. And the main reason to get started is, this economy is going bad. I mean, one of the things that I do, I check out different videos that will talk about different retail stores going out of business, different things happening. And, you know, we paying a lot more. I remember a mentor said a couple weeks ago, because he usually buys beef and all of that. He said usually he would pay $23 for the same amount of beef. He had to pay $30. Stuff is going up. If I was that person who was buying eggs, I'd be mad. I mean, shoot, I'd be just glancing at it. I don't really eat eggs like that. But I'd just be glancing at it. I'd be like, man, I mean, this stuff is going up. And there was something I got, and I was like, wait a minute, this much money? It's so many little things. I'm going to tell you now, business is good because, see, here's the thing. When I don't care how much you're making on that job, you're only going to make so much. You're only going to make so much, even with overtime. You can only go so far. In fact, there's many arguments. There's some people argue that a steady paycheck is nothing but a different form of slavery. That's how deep it is. The thing with business is, if you're good at business, you can always make more money. That's one of the ways to survive out here. You got to have something. Like I said, even if you have a steady job, if you got a steady job, it's pretty secure right now, hey, definitely keep it. Definitely do what you can with it. But have something on the side. Have something you can bring in extra money. Even if you bring in that extra money and just say, hey, what did I always talk about? Putting it away in savings. Because you just never know. There are plenty of people out here who might have like went into work and then there was a big meeting and they said, hey, you know, get your stuff. We ending today. Shoot, that even happened with me being online. There was a website that I used to have. I'm not going to call them out, but they used to have different people who would get on there and would have, communities and stuff like that, people who would subscribe. I remember they hit me up and they said, you know what, in 6 weeks, they're going out of business. I was like, oh my goodness. And that was some money that was cut away, that it was a steady amount of money. And I lost maybe a few $100s. I mean, I was able to move to something else, but still, it's not the same thing. I'm going to tell you what, everything that you can do to make money out here, go ahead and do it. Heck, I'm not even jumping on the people doing some type of sex work. I actually know a young lady. I don't know if she's still doing it, but while I was talking with her on the phone, she was texting somebody and getting paid. I was like, yeah, but still, she had to do what she had to do. Look, get started now in business. Preferably a legit business, something that you can build on. And it's actually like I said, it's a good situation if you already have a job and you can just build that business up. You can take your time. But think of something. And a few weeks ago, I did talk about there are many businesses out there you can start without a whole lot of money. And then even if you have some money, like you've been following what I've been saying, your savings, you can use that to get started. But think of something, you can start off slow. You know, I haven't talked about the buffalo wing guy in a long time, but that's how he got started. He just had enough money to get some buffalo wings, and then he was just going to different barbershops delivering the wings, cooking the wings and delivering them so people can eat. But then all he did was just roll the money back. Then he was able to get a restaurant and then another one and then another one. So you don't really need that much, despite what people think. Like one thing, let me say something about that. People think you need a lot of money to start off, and that ain't most businesses. Because one thing with banks, they want to see that you're making some money at first. They don't just casually give you money. It's really hard for any business, I don't care who you are, to start off that way. They want to make sure you're making money first. So you starting off with yourself anyway. I mean, you might be able to find an investor or something, and if you can, do that. But think about what you can do. Think about what business. It might be small. And like I said, even in cases where you have that steady 9-to-5 job, keep that, but build up your savings. And I'll talk more about savings in the next one, in the next video. But because of what's happening with the economy, because of what's happening, you don't know. And especially if you're in a situation where someone else controls your paycheck, because if you're working for somebody else, the people at the top, whoever owns that business, they thinking about their bottom line. They don't want their money cut. You know, it might be one of those businesses that have stock out there. Oh, shoot, all they worried about is their money and the stockholders' money. And if they got to cut you to make some more money, they'll do it. And indeed, some businesses, they'll cut some people. They might keep you, but then you doing extra work for the same amount of money. The thing to do with all of this is get started in some business. Have something on the side, no matter what you're thinking about. Have something. And it can be small. It don't have to be all of that. And you might have one of those jobs that's pretty good, but have something. In fact, in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I suggested that. I was talking about, I said that back in the late 1990s. I said, even if you're making 6 figures, have something on the side. Now, I said it in terms of a man having control over his life. But if you have something on the side, boom. In fact, when it was the Great Recession, I had a full-time job. But I still had my publishing business. So I was bringing in a little bit extra money. Anything that you can do, bring that in. I had that in, so I was still doing some vending. I'll be talking about vending this week. And I was still doing some stuff. And I was still making that money. All right? But have something extra. Even if it's just extra, it's just some side, it's your side hustle. Whatever, bring in extra money. The economy is really more based on people don't have money to spend, and because of everything going on, people spending more money for stuff. Really think about that. Really think about what you can do and get started now. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. You know the deal. Let's go make that money.